So Autumn, who is in, or at the time of this video at least, was in one of my DIY Chinese communities, asked this question that can really help you break through also if you struggle with your listening skills. Now she asked, how do you get a better grasp on your listening skills? And my response helped her tons. It should help you out. The simple answer is you listen more to things, but yet it's not that simple because I want you to make the most progress, which means you need to find listening material that is at your level. The key term here is comprehensible input. I got my degree in linguistics and then professionally after became certified teacher. And we have this concept all the time with English as a second language learners, which is if you cannot understand the input that you are receiving, then it's very hard for you to learn new words or improve your language skill. So you need to look for, if you're a beginner down here, right? You need to look for beginner type listening materials. The easy way is whatever textbook you already have, make sure that it has audio and listen to that audio tons. This is what I did when I was studying Chinese in Beijing years ago. I listened and repeated to that audio. Now, you want to engage as many senses, right, as you can. And so what you're going to do is, as you're listening, if you understand pinyin, then read the pinyin as you listen. If you can read characters, then read the characters as you listen, right? And that will help your listening because you are literally associating the sounds and ways of communicating from Chinese Mandarin with the words that you can read, all right? And that will it will teach your brain how to associate more meaning with the listening sounds. Now, if you're intermediate or advanced, you, my friend, have many more options, which is one, you can find TV shows or Chinese podcasts or even, that kind of programming in Chinese and listen to it. The key is you need to find something that you're quite interested in because then you will be motivated to learn more words. But you don't want to learn too many new words as you're watching a TV show because that will cut down on the enjoyment and you'll be less likely to finish the program, or you'll be less likely to want to start studying again the next day because you spent 4 hours studying the previous day, okay? So here are some good TV show recommendations. If you feel like you're a little lower in Chinese, then you might need to just suck it up and watch some Chinese cartoons. Maybe not the most interesting, but because they're speaking at a level that kids can understand, you will find that the language is easier for you to comprehend. In which case, you could go to Peppa Pig, because Peppa Pig is super simple. Pei Ju is Peppa Pig in Chinese. And the cool thing about Peppa Pig is that the situations in those cartoons, whether you like them or not, they exist primarily in day-to-day life. So you can be sure that the language you're learning, you have a greater chance of using that in day-to-day life because they're around the neighborhood, they're at the dentist, they're at the store, they're in their house a lot. Now, TV shows, there are so many. Don't watch like the Chinese classical history shows if you want to actually communicate Chinese with people in real life right now. You can probably go for one. I really like it. It's called Huan Le Song. It is 5 girls who have moved to a new city. I forget which new city, but they all live in an apartment together because they can't afford to live alone, like many Chinese people who are younger and just trying to get jobs, new surrounding. And so it's each of the 5 girls and all the adventures they have as they're trying to get established in this new city, and the relationships between them because they all share like a space, and of course like their romantic relationships outside with the other people, and they got neighbors and all this sort of thing. It's really actually relatively quite easy to understand. And then there's another one called Huma Lao Ba, and this is, I think it's translated Tiger Mom in English. At any rate, I'll have the links down below. And the cool thing about this show is it is another piece of Chinese programming that's very close to day-to-day life. It's a successful couple, but the wife is way more successful than the husband. Either way, they have a daughter and they want their daughter to go to a great school. And they do what many Chinese families do. They sacrifice and they get another apartment that's near the school because the daughter can't go to that school unless she is zoned for that school, and they need an apartment there. The apartment's super expensive. That puts a lot of pressure on the husband and wife. They get rid of their luxurious surroundings for modest surroundings. Of course, one of them has to take, in order to get the flexibility to do all this, one of them has to take a lower position at work. But of course, there's all this work stress. And then you have the parents, their parents, the grandparents of the kid who who are meddling in their relationship, and, you know, the husband starts to stray, and there is a kind of affair going on, and the wife also is being wooed by her boss at work who kind of likes her, and there's all these things going on, but the language is language that you could learn. So when you watch a show, don't try to learn too much vocabulary in any given setting or sitting, if you will, but kind of try to enjoy the show. And when you learn a new word, put it down on paper and use that new word, as in practice it. And you're gonna need to click and tap on the screen right there, because another guy asked me, how do you use new vocabulary? What do you do with it after you find it and write it down? And I will tell you in that video. My name is Kwejo. Good study, day up.